Good afternoon. I'm Ingrid Edstrom, Polymath Bookkeeping, where we take the weight off your shoulders with top-notch bookkeeping services and education. And when I first started my business in 2008, I knew plenty about being a bookkeeper and very little about being a self-employed professional. Fortunately, I had a client at that time who introduced me to Business Network International. She invited me to a meeting, and I knew the moment I walked into that room that it was going to be a really good fit for my business. And BNI, through the membership I had there, taught me a lot, both through the relationships that I developed with my colleagues in the room, as well as through my membership, the educational resources available to me. And it was BNI that introduced me to the Ashland Chamber. And from there, I met several other networking opportunities that I'm now involved in. And all of these have become the cornerstone of my business and my marketing plan. So as we're diving into the meat of our presentation, I'm going to be talking to you about why networking. So the question is, where do the majority of your clients first hear about your products and services? Are you getting all of the clients you need from the advertising that you do? And as we know from Ginger's presentation, advertising and marketing are not the same thing. So raise your hand if you have clients that hear about your business from word of mouth. Keep your hand up if you want more word-of-mouth referral clients. So if you get clients from word of mouth and you want more word-of-mouth clients, do you have a strategy for developing the word-of-mouth marketing in your business? So as we're getting into why networking, I want to start with, what does networking do for a business? And I think the best way to illustrate this is actually with a little bit of an activity. So I want everyone to get up and find a partner. We're going to thumb wrestle. Yep, action photos. Good, go ahead. So I'm going to time you. Everyone has 30 seconds to get as many wins in 30 seconds as you can get in a thumb wrestling game. And on your mark, get set, go. Yep, we're going. As many wins as you can get in 30 seconds. As 10 seconds gone. Halfway there. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. All right. Everyone have a seat. Now, raise your hand if you got at least 5 wins. Raise your hand if you got at least 5. Anybody get 10? 15. More than 20. Okay, how many did you guys get?
53.
53 wins in 30 seconds. How did you do that?
We took turns winning.
Took turns.
4, 5, 6.
So, taking turns, helping each other. Competition versus collaboration. By helping each other win, both people won more by removing competition from the equation entirely. So the question is, how do we do that within all of our businesses? Collaboration is wonderful, and, thank you, Ginger, I'm going to tell you a real-world example. So in my business, I told you how I got involved in networking to begin with, but what's happened since then? Where has networking brought me in my business? Last year, 2014, 90% of my business came from my word-of-mouth referrals. Not necessarily from any one particular word-of-mouth avenue, but only 10% of my new business came from my advertising. And what's more, I found that my most effective, my best client relationships that make me the most money and that I enjoy the most are the ones that come from the relationships that know me and my business the best. So Ginger didn't touch on this part as far as the overall marketing side of things go, but generally they say that you want to invest your marketing dollars into the areas that are going to make you the most money. You don't want to put, $3,000 into a phone book ad that is never going to get you a single call. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I have to admit that in my business, my advertising and income ratios are a little bit skewed. And the example of this is that last year I rebuilt my website. I spent $2,000, more than $2,000, rebuilding my website. Now don't get me wrong, I love my website. I use my website for a lot more than just bringing in new clients. I have video tutorials and blogs, resources for my clients to get more out of their relationship with me. And in the last year, I have gotten 2 clients who found me online. Great clients. Well, one of them's a great client. The other one I'm not working with anymore. But his boss said no. But with that, I spent just over $800 on my various networking avenues. That includes my BNI membership, my membership to Ashland Chamber of Commerce, my membership in the Southern Oregon Bookkeepers Association, and a couple more. I got 42 new clients in 2014 by word-of-mouth referrals, and 9 so far this year. And that's keeping in mind that I was turning down new clients for most of January and February because I'm a bookkeeper and it's tax season. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of what works for me in my business. So understanding your marketing budget, you have to include important memberships. So raise your hand if you're a member of a marketing thing. That includes chamber. A lot of us are chamber members, yes. So making sure that you budget for those memberships. And what a lot of people don't realize is that there's 3 different kinds of marketing memberships that you can belong to. There's social and civic memberships, which Bunny mentioned a bit. That can be Rotary, Elks, Kiwanis, where you're there for a social or civic purpose. But of course, you're going to meet people. You're going to develop relationships. They're going to get to know you and your business over time, and you will develop client relationships. There's soft networking, which is Chamber of Commerce, where any business is welcome to join the chamber. And there might be 3 other people in that room that you're in competition with, even if it's friendly competition. The third is hard networking, or solid networking, where there is only 1 person per professional classification allowed in a chapter or group at any time. And you're not selling to the 20 to 40 people in that room, you're selling through them to the 400 people that each of them know. Those people, as you meet with them each week, become your sales force. So you get to know them and their businesses more, and you develop a relationship of giver's gain. So it's important to choose which networks are going to fit for your business. And as you're choosing them, recognize that it's not all about the monetary investment, it's also about the time. Hard networking works really, really well for me because I invest the time into those relationships. And I have to admit, I'm a bookkeeping nerd. You guys might have noticed that about me if you know me a little bit. I can pull up a report in my QuickBooks on anything. And that includes knowing exactly how well all of these relationships are working for me. I know to the dollar how much BNI and Chamber made for me last year. And they're good relationships. I'm going to keep investing time and invest more time into what's working for me and my business and what is the most fun. Because if you don't enjoy it, what's the point? So once you've decided which networks you want to try out and figure out what's going to be the best fit for your business, remember that it takes more than just showing up to a meeting. You have to build relationships, put yourself out there, be a leader in the community with a focus on giving without an immediate need for personal gain. Not all leaders stand at the front of the room. There are volunteer opportunities, take on responsibilities, such as with the 4th of July parade, right, Dana?
Exactly.
Thank you, Kelsey. And make a name for yourself in the community as someone that people generally know, like, and trust, as someone who can be approached as a resource that wants to help other people, as someone who is passionate about what you do and why you do it. Not all leaders are the ones standing at the front of the room. Now, the people that I have relationships with are able to pick my best clients out of a crowd, and boy, do I love them for it. Melanie's smiling at me. Melanie is one of my power partners. We have a 1-to-1 scheduled every month, and yes, we produce for each other. We love it. Now, in those cases, to develop those relationships where we're producing referrals for each other, oftentimes I have to be the one who shows up first. I have to show them the value of a relationship with me Learn about their business. Start referring to them. And I don't mind doing it one bit because I know that that's going to come back around. I don't have to worry about whether I'm going to get something in the end because I know that I'm good at what I do. I know that I care about my relationships, about my clients. And it always comes back, which is why I got 42 clients and 9 more this year. So it works. It works really well for me. And by building relationships through helping others, you will become someone that your community has top of mind and tip of tongue anytime your industry is mentioned in a conversation or anytime a need is brought up in conversation that you might be able to fill. So the best way to get started is to come and experience a meeting. Come to Chamber, experience those meetings, visit a BNI meeting or another hard networking group. Put yourself out there. And if there's something that you need an invitation to, talk to someone who's involved and establish a relationship with them. I invite you to talk to me. Let's schedule lunch. Okay. You can also visit polymath.com, which is my website. I have a whole bunch of free educational videos and blogs on bookkeeping amongst a whole bunch of other topics, including networking and developing relationships. And I also offer a free initial consultation. So if you are looking for bookkeeping services or know someone who might be looking for bookkeeping services or need a little bit of help, I would love to sit down with them and see if they're a good fit. And if they are not the best fit for me, I will connect them to the person who is the best fit for their needs. As a member of the Southern Oregon Bookkeepers Association, that's why we established that network, so that we could network within our industry and make sure that each of us was getting the clients that were the best fit for us and that it's also the best fit for the client.